Wonderful.
Yes, Phil. Oh my God, I can't do this.
No, okay, wonderful.
We took it.
We're live.
Okay.
We're
Hello,
live.
everyone. Let's call to order. No, I don't need motion. Sorry. See, I'm telling you, I'm very dead, and I'm going a little crazy here. So 7:10.
7:06.
Clock's wrong on the wall. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Our time behind.
This is yes. Oh, this look at which is fantastic. It's good we can see. Lisa, did you have the attendance sheet, or I think she's just taking the roll?
I don't have the attendance.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, you guys roll. Okay, so Shelley's taking the roll. Did everyone get a copy of the minutes? The ones that were passed out, the first page is on a single sheet, and then the rest is on the back of the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Does anyone need a minute to go through them? Do I have a motion? Or actually first, or any questions or anything like that first? Nope. Cheryl was motioning to accept the minutes. Second. All in favor?
Try to stay out.
Anyone opposed? They are accepted as is. Thank you very much, Shelley. My only comment really for tonight is to introduce our newest commissioner, Diane. I'm not going to make you go through your whole introduction again, but maybe a brief one because there are a couple people who were not here.
Oh,
This meeting.
okay. So I've recently retired working for the city since 2009. And I resident in the city for over 25 years here in the park with my husband. And I've always wanted to be involved. Once I retired, I wanted to still be involved in a committee. And so I like this one. I joined the Brooklyn Garden Center, and I'm also taking the Michigan State University Extension course starting in 2 weeks for the Master Gardening Program. So I'm excited about that because I've always just loved the aesthetics and keeping our city beautiful as it is.
Welcome.
Happy to have you on board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for volunteering.
Some correspondence with the three.
The only thing I have is from our own member Cheryl. Pass these around perhaps.
Oh, yes. Did everyone get that? I read that.
It's a brochure touting the benefits of native plants and pollinators. And I only printed off a few to pass around if you wanted to keep one, if somebody really wanted one, keep it. But I held off printing more because you can see that by the picture, the tap here is running out of toner. Plus, I'm having Lisa put our city logo on it,
Nice.
which they encourage. So thank you, Cheryl.
Cheryl, that's the one you just.
This is the original.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And David Swank gave this to me, so I'll find out from him how we go about getting more.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
I have correspondence.
You do, excellent.
I do. Al Mazer, our former commissioner, sent me an email on February 21. A resident, our poster winner, our first place poster winner, was looking for her poster. And so Al emailed me, and Brian had saved the winners down in his office. So I was able to return that to her. And the family sent a huge thanks to the commission. For the
Garrisons.
and-
The Garrisons.
No.
Carabelle for Linden.
Berlinden.
Yes.
And, but I will tell you, they were told they could pick them up the end of May last year already.
Really?
So
Okay.
it's not like we've tried to withhold them from
Right.
their, you know,
I forgot.
especially poster winners have been told that.
Okay.
So,
I just want to let you know, Kim, that I generally save them for 1 year,
yeah.
Good.
and then dispose of them.
Very nice.
The ones that are hung up, you know, the winners, the ones that go out to the businesses, I don't think we ever get those.
And we never let them think that unless they see their own in a business and ask for it, they can have it. But we don't give them any hope that they are going to be able to find it or that we'll find it for them. We don't return those at all.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, I got it just in the nick of time, huh?
Sure.
Gonna be gearing up in a minute for the next one. All right, thank you. Is there anything else? We are just rolling right along. Brian, do you have a forestry report?
2 items. So we're going to go ahead with our tree sale again this spring. Yeah, Lisa and I were talking, and for the past several years, just it was real convenient to keep the same species of trees on the order form, so they didn't have to change the communicator at the park there, and they like that, keep the same format. The prices had changed over the years, but it seemed like they were popular species. A big tree, a medium tree, and 2 small ornamentals. So we decided to change it up a little bit this year, or I did. And we're still gonna have a large tree, a medium large, a small medium, and a small tree. These are gonna be the types of trees we're gonna offer. Tulip tree, pawpaw, river birch, redbud. So keeping in the theme, there seems to be more recently a push for native species of trees, and also pollinators. So all 4 of those fit the bill. So I'm excited. I checked with the nursery, they're available. And that segues into my second report. This is the first year since I've worked here that we usually advertise this tree sale on the back page of the spring communicator. So that should have came out February 1st.
Well, I talked to Chris Delmez, and you probably already know this. I don't, he just explained to me that it was likely he would be doing it, but that they had originally hired somebody else to do it who was no longer working for the city.
Brian, do you know?
So,
Yeah, I know the whole story.
oh, okay.
So Mary Beth Hathaway retired. Chris is gone.
Chris,
Yeah, demolished.
he's gone?
He's gone. The new city clerk, Ginger, is gonna be in charge of the communicator. I think some people on the commission here would be happy to hear that they're gonna totally rebrand the communicator.
Oh, nice.
And Linda Boyle, remember her? She's very artistic, very sharp woman, is gonna be involved in this rebranding of the communicator.
Does she still work here?
No, she's gone, she retired or left, but she's gonna be involved with the communicator as a contractor, I suppose.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been talking about this from the communication committee or community engagement committee as well, to bring it up to like a year 2000 kind of brochure rather than, it was nice to have the old, but it's expensive paper.
Yes.
It's expensive to mail.
Yeah,
So we want to get it into a little more better easier format. It'll be kind of like one of these, I believe, little glossier paper. Unless you know more, Brian.
Well, that's about it, except that I know commission members have, advocated for revamping it to make it more modern.
Yeah.
And not just a newsletter for the Parks and Rec necessarily. So I know Linda's really sharp at that stuff. I haven't met the new city clerk yet. But I'm looking forward to it. But there is no date set. They don't know when the next communicator will come out. So what we're gonna do is for the tree sale, just rely totally on electronic communication, put it on the website like we've been doing. And actually, most of my orders in the last few years have been from printed out order forms from the website anyways. But also, Courtney, who works for the city, she's in charge of the social media. She's gonna put it on the Facebook and constant contact, which is an email blast kind of thing. So I'll get that together next week and we'll put it out.
Awesome.
now I gave Chris, beyond by giving it to him and what little he said to me, I gave him the results of the holiday awards with pictures.
Okay,
What's happened to that?
No idea. I thought of that too. I'll make sure.
I sent it to Kim, I sent it to Chris, and Kim asked me to send it to Brad Limper. I can send it again and send it to, who should I send it to?
Probably Courtney.
Courtney,
On the
yeah.
website.
Send it
Yeah.
to Courtney. Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
She's been amazing about getting stuff up.
And that's it, Kim, for me.
She's really good.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, she's sharp. Saves my thinking a lot.
Oh, what's the timing of that, Ryan? I'm sorry, maybe I missed it. Like, when would you need orders?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't say that. So the deadline is always Arbor Day,
Oh,
which is the last Friday of April.
Okay.
And then the trees come in shortly after that. So it's appropriate time to plant.
nice.
In a way, this, for me, this works out better because the February 1st deadline, that's when the order form would hit. February 1st, there's a long time between February 1st and Arbor Day, and people would send me checks, and I would sit on the checks until I actually got confirmation I would get the trees, or and some people cancel, so so this way, there's not such a gap in between.
You have like some order forms available at the city office, because there's still a considerable population that like to walk in and.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that, but I have done that in the past. I will print off some order forms and put them with my other information downstairs.
All right, that's a great suggestion. Well, this is an excellent segue into Arbor Week, since we were just mentioning Arbor Day.
All right. Well, I've been busy since we last met. I contacted all the schools. The first thing I have to do is get permission from the principal, and once that is received, I'm able to get the class counts, how many fourth grade or fourth and third, 4 or 5 splits there are. And so I have all of that now. The total number of students, including all students in split classes, is 154 students this time. Remember, a lot of those that are students from split classes are students that are not going to do the poster contest because they've already done it before. But regardless, it makes life much easier for everybody if we allow them the opportunity to do it. And that way, the teacher doesn't get upset because half the class is doing something and the other half something else. So yesterday I distributed all the posters. I went to Jim Odell and ordered posters, and now they're all distributed to all the teachers in the schools. Easter is going to be April the 9th, Arbor Week. By the way, that last week in March, the 27th through the 31st is when that's, Easter break. It's not Easter, it's called
Spring break.
Yeah.
And so the Arbor Week is, how come I can't count? Arbor Week is April 23rd to the 29th. Okay. And when I distribute the posters to all of the teachers and the principals, I also provide this, which I'll pass one of these around, which is the Arbor Week poster contest notification. On the page after that is the rules and regulations. And then we have a little information about the history of Arbor Day. And then on the back, the value and benefits of trees. So that went out with the posters. So that's where we are.
Wonderful, thank you. And those will be due, so they'll be ready for our April 19th meeting?
I will pick them up on the 18th, and we have the meeting, I guess, the judging on the 19th.
Mhm.
And I told them that we would probably not let them know until Friday, the 21st. That just gives us a couple of days, and it always takes time. Just for those who might have forgotten, students cannot put their name on the poster. It has to be identified anonymously. And so then when you call the school, you say, student so-and-so in Mrs. Howe's class, who is A3, is a winner. And then they tell me who A3 is. then you call the parents and all the rest. So it takes a little while sometimes to get a hold of parents and get all that information.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for all that work. Much appreciated. Looking forward to it. We'll do our judging again at the Tompkins Center. It's nice to see really spread it out. Okay, moving, any questions for Ted?
That's with wine again this year?
I mean, if wine happens,
Give the
then
kids
there's nothing I can do about
No,
it.
not for the kids.
Oh.
That's not allowed anymore.
Something wrong. Depends on what city.
All right, well, let's go. Spring plan exchange.
Oh, by the way, Brian is going to make the order for the seedlings. But you know, it isn't until April, so we still have some time yet. But, we seem to have all our ducks in a row.
It sounds great. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, you do.
The spring plant exchange is going to be May 20th, as we can all see. The facility is booked, and my thinking is we will just stick to the same format we have for the past couple of years. Haven't set it up outside, with the inside as a backup. And then I will go through the same process of promoting it to the city. Have sent it to Courtney, timed releases, and then I'll put up posters or, flyers as before. I guess what I want to know, so we're gonna do what we normally do, plants, seeds, et cetera. Do we want to continue to say houseplants?
I like that.
I did too, I like that. Okay. And
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
pots, do we want to do encourage people to bring pots they don't want anymore, and other people can pick them up?
Almost, I think everything found a home.
And garden tools, all kinds of
That was a
stuff.
great addition.
People brought.
And the tools, again, that works.
I think it should just generally be anything garden related that you would like to offer up.
Please clean them before bringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tools would be nice, like.
And what are people's thoughts about books?
Yeah.
They used to bring books, remember?
No, but like for
Did she bring
donating,
those?
I bring like reference.
But it's reference.
But no, but you're talking about bringing them and then what do we do afterward if no one takes that? Like that's the onus is on us
That's
to
the
put them
problem,
on.
having volunteered with the Friends Used Book Sales for years.
Mm.
I'm a little, sort of, well, I mean, it's a great idea, but if someone wants to bring like a 30 or 40-year-old garden book, I don't know, maybe.
Oh, I would hoard that.
Just avoid it?
No, I said I would hoard that book so that I wouldn't.
Armin
You know,
will
I
take
say let's
anything
try
not
it,
used.
let's try it and then.
Because you didn't in the fall, did you? You didn't say books.
We did not because we were worried, but you know what, if there are leftovers, we'll just put them in the libraries, little libraries. I can do that.
idea.
Okay.
The other thing
They
we,
don't want them in.
Kind of the little free libraries around.
No, the little free
Oh, the free
libraries.
ones, okay. See, it's,
the other
It's
thing,
gonna be a lot of sorting and a lot of.
Right.
disposing.
the other thing I'm willing to do is take into a KMB BCSEM meeting.
Yeah, right, okay.
They,
Make a gift
Oh, that's a
basket.
good idea.
people take them at those meetings.
Yes, they do.
Do we have any
Even if they're
nurseries?
40 years old.
Those are the best.
Those are the best.
I know.
Oh.
My mom.
Do we have any nurseries that join us? No, garden nurseries.
Donate stuff or donating.
For donating or for coming for advice or bringing some stuff, yeah, maybe donating.
Literature, maybe, or.
Yeah.
We have not in the past that I'm aware of.
Okay, so Pam Grand, she owns Otherworld on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
She's really looking to
That's
do
a
stuff
good
with
idea.
beautification. Is it okay if I reach out to her?
That would be great.
Touch with
Connect her.
Alicia, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
Point
but maybe she
Raglan has
could
a
be-
lot of garden related stuff in the
Yeah.
spring and summer and fall.
What's her name?
Pam Grand.
Because people like and ask the expert, and it's kind of nice to rotate through and
Yeah.
introduce.
We should get little hats because Diane will be a master gardener by then, right? How long is that course?
Oh, no, it
It's
takes
a
a long time.
10-minute.
Well, you still get the hat. We'll still give you the hat. And David will be there. and-
What is
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's okay. I'll connect her with you.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
fine, thank you.
We'll go from there. And who knows what she'll do. She's very generous. She may bring a lot of
Ask, what's the name for business?
Otherworld.
Otherworld.
Is that the one across from Allemans? Yeah, she's really nice, yeah.
Yeah, she's quite hilarious.
All right, so that's what I shall do.
I encourage people to bring those types of things and we can.
Wonderful, thank
And
you.
anything
I'll add
else?
you on there.
Anything else?
Okay.
Get there about 8:30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what time do we get there?
8:30.
Yeah, I'll try and get seeds again from the library, seed library, see. It depends how many they do. Luckily, so they're only doing it for so many, they used to do it 12 months, now they only do it for a few months. And this is sort of the tail end of when they're doing it, so they'll know how many they have left over, which is kind of handy.
That is handy.
Yeah.
What time would you like us all to arrive?
What time? We say 9:30, right?
9:30 it starts.
It starts, yeah, so 9,
Is that early enough?
I think so.
8:30 to 9. We should
Yeah.
go there.
Everyone there by 9, but
Okay.
it might change if the weather looks bad and we really need to do the tablecloth thing and all that.
Okay.
You can always put out a call.
Yeah,
Couple of days
you'll hear
before.
from me.
And I can't remember, does Parks and Rec organize all the tables for us?
Yeah, I give them a diagram and they do it, and and the picnic tables,
Yeah, that's what I said.
and
Tables
and they'll
outside.
bring those,
We're not.
those carts over there and all that kind of stuff, yeah, they're really great.
They're fantastic.
Yeah,
Are we going to try to ask them, in the past, they got coffee and so on ready for us? No matter not.
we haven't,
No, with COVID, we decided we shouldn't do it, but in the past, we have done it. We don't have to.
Yeah, I would just do coffee for us if we want to, a pot in the
Oh, okay.
kitchen. Everyone else seems to roll up with them.
Yeah, they are
Right, so.
good.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Any questions from down here for Alicia? Okay, sustainability.
Okay, so we've been working on the structure and like the infrastructure, really Brian and I were working on that. So one thing that we looked at was the website. I didn't know it because, did you know that we have a sustainability resource page on the website?
Haven't done anything since,
I found it.
A year and a half
It's like,
ago.
you know, a weird place.
yeah, since when sustainability was on its own. May and I put all that together with Nick, and we had it, and Brian, I think, was part of that too.
Okay,
The resources, and we were trying to keep them up to date. And we've tried to work Arbor Week into that, and we advertise our spring plant exchange and things like that, and any ideas that were coming up. So it's
Okay,
it's
yes.
time to springboard off of that.
okay,
Yeah.
so I asked, we don't have an answer yet. I thought it would be nice if we could take that page and move it to the Beautification Commission page.
We can do whatever
You
we
know, we
want.
have those, what are they called? Related program tabs, or, yeah, you know what I mean? I thought it would be nice if we put the resource, what do you think about
I think
that?
that's great. Yeah, it should move under there now. That's a good
Okay.
idea, yeah.
We can't make that change without Nick's permission.
No, they'll do the change. You guys don't have access to admin on that, do you?
No, I asked Courtney what she thought about that. Brian thought it was a good idea, so I emailed Courtney, like, what is the protocol for making a change like that? And she said it required Nick's.
Yeah, we just gotta request it.
Okay,
He won't stand in the way of that. He'll be happy with that.
Okay, so we
He's
can
a
do-
Sustainability pros or
okay.
proponent.
So request from Nick, okay.
Yeah, so if we want to get the right kind of storyboard it, like have, when you click on that page, what comes up, unless it's a simple drag and drop over to there. If you want to keep it
Okay.
as is, because we probably want to update some stuff on there too.
Yeah, that's good information
Yeah,
there, but.
some is always relevant,
Yeah,
but some
but
of
I
the
thought
stuff
that
we
we
can
could, like,
change,
we
yeah.
have green community
Mhm,
challenge
that's what I was gonna say.
updates and,
Say where we're at, say what we've
Yeah.
accomplished.
some of the things that we're thinking about doing.
Yeah, I'll work with you guys on that for sure.
You will?
Yeah,
Oh,
because our next council meeting is a week from Monday.
okay,
So, but it doesn't even matter when the council meeting is. We can send it to him anytime.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Vikas.
Yeah, my pleasure. That's a really good idea.
Okay, and then we talked about sustainability last meeting, so I'm just gonna pass these around because we had some commissioners that weren't at the meeting, so I thought you may want some of the handouts. And then I only have 2 of these left, the Adopt a Garden program information. And so the main thing today would be, please, commissioners, if some of you would please sign up to work on the sustainability. We have a sign-up sheet, so I'm going to pass that around. And the sign-up sheet, kind of, the top section is for commissioners who just kind of want to be involved, but they don't know quite what they want to do yet. We're going to need volunteers for the Adopt a Garden Committee. Nick wants to proceed with that this spring. That's a big undertaking, so, I mean, that's not a small program, that's a really big,
The whole program
the
is,
whole thing, that's just, it's a big, it's
we start with
a
one. I know
lot
we
more
did a
to
couple.
consider than you would imagine. We actually talked to Helen By in Grosse Pointe Shores. She's on Keep Michigan Beautiful, BCSEM. I think Pat Depp talked to her briefly too. So I'm just gonna pass this information around. These are notes that I took after talking to Helen for about, she talked to me for a good hour, hour and a half. And kind of detailed what they do in Grosse Pointe Shores for their Adopt a Garden program. So we were thinking maybe start out this year with maybe 2 to 3 garden plots, like a pilot program, and then build from there.
In front of the library. Is Adopt a Garden under sustainability? Is the Adopt a Garden fall under the sustainability? What? It is now.
What was it? Annual Beautification Sustainability Award, Green Community Challenge, Adopt a Garden Program, Citizen Science Program, so that'll be you guys. And we also, Nick also put on there the City Hall entrance rain garden flood mitigation project, which Brian can report on that.
Lisa, do you have this electronically?
I do. Do you want me to email it out to
This is really
everyone?
good information. The
Yeah.
requirements are.
I think people might be interested in knowing in Grosse Pointe Shores. Basically, their Adopt a Garden program is, they have someone sponsor every single garden bed for the most part that they have. And then their beautification commission does a lot of the planting along in the parks themselves. It's different in our community than it is in their community. They do have the help of DPW though, planting those beds, so it's not like the commission does it all, but they do a lot of work.
But it's a lot of
beds.
planning and
Logistics.
work in the background, correct?
Before you get to
Absolutely.
the shovels.
She does all of the
Helen?
record keeping of people who sign up to participate, and she collects the funds and, gets it all over to City Hall. It ends up being several $1,000s. It's a lot of work.
And that's one thing that we were talking to Nick about. So Brian and I were talking about like some of the decisions that would need to be made, what gardens are going to be included. We can't just pick and choose the gardens. The gardens are manned by 2 crews, Bacher Landscaping, and then the city crew. So we can't just sweep in and decide how that workload is going to be managed and who's going to be in charge of what. Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think for the pilot program, what the city, so I'm thinking Nick, is envisioning is starting off with the entrance signs. Where are they?
Well, there used to be 3 of them.
Okay.
Now there's presently 2 of them. They're both on Jefferson, one at the Detroit entrance and the other one at the Grosse Pointe entrance. Those are relatively small. They are presently maintained by the gardening staff at Corinne, city employees. They're shorthanded. So what Nick was like to see is help to make them look better because they didn't look that good for years. Corinne would still be decorating them for the holidays, such as Halloween, the scarecrows, that type of thing. But the gardens are kind of neglected as far as maintenance during the growing season.
Okay.
That's where they need help.
Okay.
And those 2 are real small.
Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking 2 volunteers at one entrance sign, two volunteers at other entrance sign. And I say there used to be three. At Mac and Cadieux, there's some type of excavation going on over there. So that's all dug up. That's, the signs still exist, but it's all snow fenced in. They're digging that up for utility work. But so that's going to be a blank tablet, you know, when I'm sure they're going to be done in the spring. That's kind of an exciting project that a few volunteers might want to tackle. You know, if the city pays for the plant material, we need people to plant it and mulch it, that type of thing.
So there were a couple last year, a couple gardens that were manned by volunteers, resident volunteers, one in the park, one in Patterson. I think they went around one of the beds.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Which bed?
I think it was the one when you walk in near the boathouse to like between the boathouse and Lavin's. One of those
You mean
there.
the gatehouse?
No, the boathouse, like after you get into the park, before you walk into the park, you have to walk by that little house. The harbor master.
Yeah.
Yeah, between that and Lavin's. There's a small garden there that was full of weeds.
I thought there was a garden across from Lavin's that somebody.
Yeah, between Lavin's and that little
Doesn't the
boat.
DPW do that?
Oh, so
They used to. So last year we were really hit hard and we were
So
really short
that's a
staffed.
windmill point.
Yeah, and I'll find out exactly. I know Tim Kohler helped out on one day. And the second one they did was at Defer. So it was part of Defer.
Defer?
Yeah, it was part of
But that
Defer.
wouldn't be.
That wasn't from the city.
Right, not the.
I'm trying to remember the second one. So I'll get the right details on it, but I know some residents did some work in the parks last year.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you down for getting info. And then Brian, you also mentioned the City Hall entrance butterfly garden, where all our milkweed got mowed over.
Right, twice. So,
Yeah.
that butterfly garden we have in the island where the mailboxes are, we want that to be part of the pilot program as well. We're gonna take that over. Southern Gardener was hired to maintain that for years. And then last year we switched to Backer and it's looking better, but we could save money if we could take that on. And plus I would really like to take that on because of the milkweed in there and nurture that. And
Yes.
It was so pretty when it
was beautiful.
installed, and then over COVID, just really.
and it's a high visibility. It's right in front of City Hall.
Yeah, right at the entrance.
So we figured we'd start with, small, relatively small, and get the logistics going. It's gonna be a fluid situation.
I know that in St. Clair Shores, they have a number of welcome signs to St. Clair Shores. I think Roy O'Brien has financed a lot of those. But their Beautification Commission, I believe, takes care of about 10 beds. Plant them, they maintain them and
The
everything.
commissioners?
The commissioners, yeah.
Well, they oversee.
And they have volunteers that help them as well. But it's a big job.
It is a big job.
How are you gonna recruit volunteers?
Well, they have people who are anxious to get on their commission,
Mhm.
and their commission has a limited number of people. So they feel like if they put in time doing that, then they're more likely to be accepted onto the commission.
Yeah.
That's not the only reason that people volunteer, but
No.
there are people who are just civic minded who would like to see their city looking beautiful.
Yeah.
And I will say they do a beautiful job in St. Clair Shores on those sides.
Like you said, Brian, if we start small, come up with 2 targets that you named, and then blast out, hey, we're looking for volunteers. If we get 40 volunteers, we can pick a third or fourth garden as well and just, like you said, iron out the details on how to make this work properly without being a headache. But if you get 2 gardens that you already know, get the volunteers there, and then the other 2 gardens, you can just assign to residents, say, do what you want to. If you want to go and just de-weed it, that'd be great, because
Right.
the weeds were the big problem last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, because even along the boardwalk at Patterson, it was
really bad.
so neglected. And that's what happens with our yards even.
And Pat, the volunteers who adopt the gardens in Grosse Pointe Shores pay a fee to
They
do.
pay a fee. They don't actually do any work. They just finance.
They just finance it. Okay.
It saves the city a lot of money.
It sure does.
You gotta remember, that's a city with a very low population. So all of those kinds of things, that we can sort of spread the cost out over, 10, 12,000 residents, they have 2,000. So it works well for them to do it that way.
Did they get their names on it? Did they put?
I do believe they have
Sponsored by.
adopted, but it's not a big sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Right. And I guess the other, so there was more of a next idea for a resident adopted program. The other, is the business district gardens. And I think that sprung out of the hot yoga award that we gave last year, which would be encouraging businesses to adopt the gardens in front of their storefronts.
We gotta figure out how to incentivize that.
And,
How about
right,
providing, when you're letting them, is there any kind of agreement we could do with any of the landscape or garden companies where they could like sell them at cost, their flowers?
I don't
Such a markup
know,
on
and
the
we don't
number.
really, I didn't get a reply from Nick, before today's meeting. So these are ideas. I really have no idea what the city is going to approve.
So I just have a thought on that, since we do have a business district committee
Mhm.
that's built of all the business owners. I say we throw this to them.
That's a great idea.
Say, you guys run this program yourself. We're here to advise you if you need to. We can connect you with landscapers and things, but how do you want to do it?
What to do.
That's a great idea.
Because we have a lot on our plate.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a huge.
So let's see what
Think about all of the
they.
businesses that,
You're talking about the DDA?
No, the GPP business.
Oh, that Joe from Building Cleaners, the
yeah.
president
Yeah.
founded? That's a great idea.
oh, yeah.
If every business took care of that little plot around Locust Tree, it's like 4x4, like the hot yoga did, which looked beautiful.
It looks
Which
fantastic.
was a striking contrast to across the street at the UPS building, which looked absolutely horrible. If everybody just swept their own porch, that Kirksville would look so much better.
Well, 313 Cellar, he would put out potted, hanging plants around his little areas.
Right.
Yep.
Did the extended, that looked really pretty.
A little bit of noise.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Lisa, how do you want to proceed with that one?
I'm
We'll
not
talk.
really sure. I
Yeah.
feel
You
like
can send
we've got a lot of
send it to
ideas.
Nick and then have
Okay.
Nick contact the GPPBA.
Okay, I didn't really want to overstep and do anything until I really got approval on the city side.
Smart.
Are you gonna
And then
suggest it?
volunteers and input from the commission as well. So, okay, so maybe I should type it all up and send it to
Yeah.
you and Brian and you
Yeah.
can forward it to
For
me.
sure. I think that's the best way to start. 'Cause then we can come to agreement on what we want to do and share it with everyone here if we need to.
Okay, and thank you, Pat, for signing up to help out with the adopted garden. The last thing is Brian's going to report on it. It's part of sustainability. If you recall, we submitted a grant to SEMCOG last year for a rain garden right outside of the entrance to City Hall where the downspout drains and it floods. You know where all the
Yes,
ice and
yes,
I almost
the
broke
ice
my
and
neck
stuff,
out
yes,
there last
Yes,
winter.
yeah.
And we did submit a grant to SEMCOG, but we were denied because the project simply was not eligible. They encouraged us to apply for a new grant that they were opening this year for low impact development. So that project was too small to be considered for the 2022 grant. And they actually gave us a free concept design. So Brian was really involved in that, so.
So,
Let's attend.
following up with, this is through SEMCOG, Southeastern Michigan Council of Municipalities.
Council of
Something to
Governments.
that effect.
Same.
And we didn't get the original, we were asking for $53,000, which is,
Wow.
we had a private company come out to give us an estimate and a very reputable, that's because of Pat Deck, ECT.
Oh, yes,
And she gave me the contact.
the business, yeah.
Very reputable. Semcog knows all about that company. And he gave an estimate of $63,000 to do this rain garden / bioswale in front of City Hall, which again would help with the flooding, the runoff, but in a small degree, but maybe more importantly, the educational aspect of it being right in front of City Hall. We would have signage, and explaining what a bioswale is and what a rain garden does. Anyways, Tifa has budgeted $10,000 towards this project. So that was a matching fund grant that we applied for. The entire project was $63,000. We asked for $53,000, didn't get it. I got an email after emailing and following up, if there's any other options. They said, you didn't get the big grant, but we had enough money left over that we did a concept design for you, which ECT.
Did the Alice Bailey did it or somebody?
ECT, well, they estimated it would cost $3,500 to do the concept design.
Yeah, we're passing it around.
Here it is.
Nice.
You have another one?
No, that's the only one. So we got the concept design for free.
Here's another one.
There's two.
Worth $3,500. And anyways, we used this concept design to apply for another grant for $63,000, no matching funds required. So for the full amount.
Wow.
So we're hopeful that this comes to fruition. So that's it.
That'd be cool.
It's a pretty solid grant.
That's great.
We didn't have a lot of
The grant
notice.
itself is not being passed around. It's too lengthy. And that's the concept design that Semcog gave us.
Yeah.
Brian, where would this be exactly? I'm looking on this map.
You know where those three pear tree are that are riddled with pear trellis rust?
All that,
The entrance.
on the other side there?
As you're walking in the front door like you did today, to the
Yes.
right,
Okay.
between the front door and the fireplace, or fire station, it'll be right there. So it basically would be like a 18-foot deep reservoir to hold the runoff from the gutters. It used to, the water used to accumulate there, or it does now. And during winter time, it turns to ice and it's a slipping hazard.
Maintain that.
Plus those pavers, they're all uneven.
This is a little off subject, but I would tell you, City Hall could use a refresh on their landscaping. I think City Hall looks awful.
I agree.
And why can't some money be put into re-landscaping at least the front of City Hall?
So where the original entrance was off of Jeff, yeah, I agree.
Looks very dull.
It looks,
That's been talked
it looks
about.
like it's
ever since the beginning.
abandoned. It looks like it's
Well, I think
abandoned.
it might help if our commission
We have 1 week when the damp
do
is
something like that, because
Yeah, I've been asking them for 3 years to redo the parking lot. I feel like I'm in India.
the parking lot is one thing, but the front of the building.
Yeah,
the
that next to all,
aesthetic
yeah.
appeal is,
So, yeah, and then when we got new windows, I don't know who approved it, but they're white windows on
Yeah.
our building. It's just doesn't match. So
Exactly.
there's some bad taste there.
But, I'd love to see us do this rain garden, bioswale garden, but I also think the city needs to be thinking about perking up the way the building looks.
Do we want to,
It was very diplomatic.
suggest that? That
Yeah.
Beautification would like to help
Yeah.
come up with the designs or take the lead on that and then
I think that's a really good idea.
like advise the city on that?
Sure. Just wondered if, I shouldn't say this,
Say it.
we appeal to a certain landscape company if they might help us.
What about, like from Michigan states, they have like the college, their departments, the students have to do projects, landscaping with commercial buildings or government. Reach out to them. Someone would want to.
Yeah, they need a project to work on.
Mhm.
Sure.
And I was just gonna show you for a lot of people who aren't that familiar with SEMCOG, it is pretty wonderful organization that puts out all kinds of leaflets. And these are very helpful for landscaping, has household waste, car care, how to best wash your car without polluting the ground, lawn care, pet care, get rid of your pet's waste before it's rained on and there are toxins that go into the soil, storm drains. They got all sorts of good stuff that if we wanted to, I don't know how expensive they are to order.
I think we can put that on our website.
Oh,
that would be nice.
Because I was looking at those, Cheryl had them and she said you brought those in. So I took a picture of one. I'm gonna send it to Nick to say.
There's a
"Can we have
bunch of
these?"
them.
And we can put it under our sustainability or just beautification as well.
Yeah.
Because there's one for almost, there's probably 7 or 8 right there.
Yeah, they're pretty helpful.
They are very helpful.
And they're
The one I
not
looked at
long.
was the
You don't
card.
want
We
something
did,
that's
we
too long.
did have brochures
Short
like that,
and concise.
Pat, it's at City Hall.
Yep.
From Brian had
By the.
produced them and people would take them, like
Yeah.
about tree maintenance plants and,
It's
but
like, oh, it's
I don't
free.
know what, I mean, they're kind of outdated. They were-
I don't know how much they
But we had those.
Well, like I said, if we do it electronically, it's free.
It was
Well,
like.
yeah.
We have the availability.
People have that literature rack.
Oh, to have it there.
We never
That's,
got-
It's an idea.
Yeah.
It's kind of old.
Then to pay their bills, they'll come ask Diane a question and say, hey, can I pay for a new garbage can? And they turn around and all those,
Yes.
they're waiting, 2-3 minutes, but they're looking, perusing all
Yeah,
that
they always
stuff.
prove.
And everyone takes,
A lot of people do.
it's like in the hotel lobbies when you go up north.
It's not as sustainable.
No, exactly. That's why I wanted to do electronically.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can have one there and tape it to the wall or chain it to the wall.
Yeah, right.
Big bathroom would be on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any other commentary about sustainability or more to?
No, so we have volunteers, that's good. I will maybe type all of this up. And then for Adopt a Garden, I'll organize the information and send it to you and Brian. And then we can have a more definitive answer from the city. I'll email everyone that signed up to volunteer. And we can decide how to go from there. Is that good?
Mhm.
Great.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's awesome.
The one thing I didn't put on the agenda, the Celebrate Spring, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well,
I put it at the date out there, but I didn't.
yeah, it will be April the 12th and things are progressing very nicely. I think I may have mentioned already at the last meeting that we will have a speaker from Keep America Beautiful as well as a speaker from Mona Lisa Living, which are 2 women who flip houses in Detroit. It's really interesting.
Really?
We have to talk to them yet, but that would be nice. And we will have a few vendors at the event, Poly Products, Detroit Hives, and Indigo Farm.
The honey is very good.
And we will have our ever popular raffle, which is getting done. I'm working on all of this, but I won't be there, which is unfortunate. But we'll get things in good shape.
It won't be the same without you.
Well, it certainly won't for me.
Sure.
I'm going on a cruise.
That's
Oh,
good.
that's
Well,
very
good for
nice.
you.
That's very nice. Any other new business? Any old business we need to address? Do we have any public comments? Sabine, Callie?
Yeah, we're back.
Hello.
So my name is Kelly. For those of you that I didn't meet last time, I'm a Grosse Pointe Park resident. And we had come to talk about the Mayor's Monarch Pledge. So it's on it's on here actually as a challenge, but it's a pledge. And our Mayor Hodges was interested in signing it for this year. When we talked about it last time, there seemed to be confusion about how the program was run. There were some questions, and so I actually I met with a couple of the coordinators. It's through the National Wildlife Federation, just to try to get some more information for everyone about some of the concerns that were brought up. So it turns out that there was, so Brian had headed up the pledge back in 2016, and they did a ton of work, did a lot of really, really great things under Mayor Denner. And so that is still on the website, it's on the map. Grosse Pointe Park is on the map, but it's on the map as a pre-pledge. And so it turns out that there was a new program model that was introduced in 2021. So when Brian was working on it, you said that you had to complete, it was like 8 or more tasks for that year. And I think
we did like 15.
You did like so many, it was great, right, it was absolutely amazing, including like the ones that usually when cities first start out, they don't accomplish, like getting milkweed off the noxious weeds list, like that's not a first one that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
hard to do, so the way that, there's like 29 actions, and the way it's set up is there's, doing things like a mayor proclamation and raising awareness. And then there's doing actually like going in and creating habitat and gardens and things like that. So it's kind of separated into categories. And then the last category is policy change. So I know you had given me a copy of like what you had worked on and checked off, and that was just awesome. So when I asked her about how this new program was moving forward, she told me that it is required to pledge every year just to keep that, sustained commitment to say, hey, yeah, we're still doing this, which I see, like you guys have the sustainability committee. This is
Like we're doing it.
You are doing this, so
Right.
there's really no reason why we can't do this. You only have to commit to 3 actions a year. And they can be counted again. So that was one.
So that is so different than before.
Right. So it's like
Okay.
as long as it's not like in progress,
Mhm.
you can count it. So
Okay.
like going back, because it would make sense. Like, so you can still get, it's like 3 actions is like the signatory level. So that's like, and then 8 to 23 is the leadership circle level. And then 24 and up is the monarch champion level. So they have 3 different levels that you can achieve. And you have the whole entire year to work on them. Basically, all that's involved, the mayor is not directly involved anymore.
That's a plus.
Yes, so it's just, you pick a representative, and you can actually have a couple if you want it.
Okay.
And all you do is you go and you go to the Monarch portal on the website, and you go and you sign up, and you say, this is my mayor's name, this is, and all the details, and you give them your information. And then basically, and then you list like the 3 that you're gonna do, but you can always add to it or go back and edit it. Like it's very flexible. I think they introduced this new model because it probably frustrated a lot of people before.
Like it really was
Stuck with the 3 that you choose.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it was just the amount of work and like what you had expressed, Brian, with like your frustration with like, and the mayor like went to you and was like, what did I sign up for?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, if I were you, I would have been like, oh.
We were.
But yeah,
But an ordeal.
totally
But
worth
worth
it.
it.
Amazing, you guys
100%.
did awesome work. I think
It
it's
was
it's fantastic. But yeah, some of the things that, the concern about like losing that leadership circle status, so basically you go on the website, you sign up, and then you can create a profile, and then it would say that we were a leadership circle in 2016 or whatever year it was. And then yeah, you commit to the 3 actions, then you have the whole year. You're not bothered or, no one's asking you any questions. You're just working on those actions. And then you have, I think it's December. I sent this to you in
I saw that. Yeah, I was
I have it all.
looking that over and thank you for sending that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that is a game changer in
for
my
sure.
mind.
And these
Yeah.
coordinators were so nice, like they were just very helpful, and like they set up a Zoom with me, and I was like,
Wow.
okay,
Wow.
like, and I told them I'm not like a representative of the city or anything, but it was through my friend Marilyn who started Rochester Pollinators, and they actually this last year they became a Monarch champion.
Oh, wow.
There's only 4 in the country.
Yeah, they did them all, right?
Yeah, and so she's been just like an incredible mentor, just personally with what we're doing just in the community with education and awareness, with the library and certain programming that I run. But anyway, so she was the one that hooked me up with her contacts. And then, yeah, so what were the other things? I just want to make sure. So, you know, it could be as simple as starting, like we have our mayor proclamation, we engage with groups and we do our plant sale swap. I feel like we've already, everything's already done. I mean, and, but we could do more depending on, you know, and based on what I've seen with working, just doing the, a lot of stuff with like educating about Native and citizen science. There's a lot of interest out there. With the library too, we just, they're working on getting citizen science pollinator kits, which I'm really super excited about, because April is Citizen Science Month, so we're hoping to roll those out. So there's a lot of connections here and opportunities to, you know, reach out and get volunteers and people who want to be involved, because there are people that do. I think our most popular event that we did last summer was the Monarch event.
Okay.
We brought in, my daughter and I brought in like all the different species we're raising, and we tagged monarchs and showed kids how to do it. It was really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, and the biggest thing I did want to mention too, so the deadline to apply for this year, so if we want to do this for 2023, is March 31st. So,
Okay.
I mean, we would need a decision sooner than later, but like I said, it's a very simple process. So all it takes is, you know, who is this person, or who are these few people that are going to be your contacts with National Wildlife Federation? And, you know, obviously the mayor verbally again saying, I want to do this, which she has said a couple different times now. And then just going on there and creating a profile and saying, we're going to do this.
So I put citizen science like as its own category under sustainability. Diane,
Because of my,
would you be interested in working with that?
yeah, absolutely.
Do you, what, is everyone
Do we want to
in
take a
favor?
Yeah.
Yeah, like should we vote on that?
Need a motion?
Do we need a motion?
We do.
Okay, I'll move.
So we participate in the Monarch
To
pledge.
participate in the mayor's monarch.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion passes.
I also wanted to add too that they have a lot of amazing resources. I don't know if they had this available when you guys were doing it, but you get like access to a monthly newsletter. They have networking calls, like Zoom calls, where you can network with other cities that are working on pledges to share information. And they have a resource center on their page, and even a Facebook group for people, you know, so I mean, they're just like a wealth of information for you.
And I feel like they've really increased the support level that municipalities have as they work through, because we really didn't have the benefit of any of that when we first started out.
Yeah, so
And no one was going to give us a Zoom call. I can tell you that. Yeah,
So they've come along.
Pandemic, man.
Pre-pandemic. Oh, I know, right? And, no, that is a good point. Pandemic. But, yeah, they were just very, very wonderful to work with, and, I think it would be a great thing. And then, you know, each year if you want to sign it each year, you just get another dot on the map. So right now it'll say, you know, it says Mayor Denner, 2016 Leadership Circle. And then if we do it we'll do it this year, it'll say Mayor Hodges 2023, and then whatever we attain for that year.
Okay.
We gotta get her to the.
So.
But it makes sense, because they want people to commit each year, just to say that you're continuing to engage and be involved and raise awareness. I mean, I think they like actually were kind of embarrassed, like in the beginning when I was talking to them, they were just like, yeah, we didn't really think that was, you know, that didn't seem like it was gonna last or be, you know, that wasn't a great objective. I mean, they were a new program at the time, so
Yeah.
they were
It was
just
their
working.
pilot program.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for bringing that to us, both of you.
So
Diane,
I can email you. I can send an email to everyone together.
Corresponding.
Yeah, with all of the information from when we did it
and thank you
before.
for stepping up at your very first meeting.
I know.
Feed into the fire. Much appreciated.
Okay, so I'll send an email connecting everyone. And I'll send you all of the information from when Brian and I did it in, it was 2016.
It says
Wow,
26, yeah, 26.
long ago.
2016.
Wow.
I know, right?
Unbelievable.
You're an OG.
Yeah.
You're an OG now.
And like I said, like to have that many actions and then also not to have access to that support and those resources, I mean, you guys,
It was,
yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
Brian
Thank
did
you.
so much.
Yeah, thank you for getting
Yeah.
that important work done.
Okay.
All right. If there are no other things to discuss or questions, motion to adjourn from because, any second?
I second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Meeting is ended.
Happy birthday month. Happy birthday month. It's my daughter and my dad's. Like March too bad.
Yeah.
How do we stop?
You may call Courtney.
That was so weird how it came out like this.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Is that-
Yeah, now they're in displaced.
Hey, how big are the large trees?
Could you stop?
I just want to let you guys